All right, everybody, welcome back to another Reno Ukefest 2024 interview with the artists. We are here with Ben Hassenger. Thank you so much for joining us, Ben.
Hey, I'm happy to. Thanks for having me.
So, Ben, why don't you tell us a little bit about you?
Well, my name is Ben Hassenger, and I'm excited to be coming to Reno. Danny and Perry and I have worked together quite a bit in a lot of the festivals I host. And I like to call myself the ukulele ambassador of Michigan because in 2009, I went to Hawaii, and believe it or not, there was an ukulele festival going on. And I went to it, and everybody was just having the time of their lives. I mean, Jake was there. I think he was playing with Pure Heart even at the time. Bill Tapia was there, and he was like 101 and still playing ukulele. Peter Luongo was there with the Langley Ukulele Ensemble, all the high school kids from Canada. And there were, of course, a lot of people from Hawaii and a lot of people from Japan. And there were even four women from Sweden and playing ukulele and singing in Swedish,
Oh,
which I thought I thought was pretty interesting. So um, I went back to my hotel room. I emailed my friend Stan Werben, who owns Elderly Instruments and who's always been a proponent of the ukulele, and said, "You've been right the whole time." And that's when I started this crazy journey I'm on with the ukulele.
2009. Yep. I was away at college at the time. I was about to come home and dive in myself a couple years later.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Ben, you've been around the block, man. I mean, that's kind of when everything started, right? It was just about
Well, yeah. At least it really got going here in Michigan. So, like I said, I came home. We got this ukulele group started called Laugh, which is a Lansing area ukulele group. The H we can't talk about, but um, and being centrally located in the state, I mean, if you know anything about the Lower Peninsula of Michigan, Lansing is right here. And so people would come from all over the state, and we worked as sort of an incubator for a lot of ukulele groups because they'd come into town. They said, "Oh boy, I wish we had something like this in our city." Well, maybe I'll just start one up. So, so it got to the point that Michigan now has about 25 to 30 ukulele groups.
Whoa.
Yeah, I like to
State
call
of
it the
Michigan.
great uke state of Michigan.
Oh my gosh. What
And
a
and
lot.
then one thing led to another. I started a festival called Mighty Uke Day,
Hmm.
uh, which was first built around the movie The Mighty Uke that Tony Coleman and Margaret Maher put together.
Hmm.
And we got together, we showed the movie, we had an open mic and a strum along, and I go, "Wow, that was great." And then someone said, "Oh, this is awesome. What are we doing next year?" And I was like, "Next year?" So the next year we got Little Rev,
Uh-huh.
and you know, moved up a little. And then the year after that was really our big jump when we got James Hill and Ann Janelle here. And then we also started a Friday night concert with Danielle Ate the Sandwich.
Great.
And it's just kept rolling from there to the point that we started a nonprofit that supports ukulele programs in schools and libraries and senior centers.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, and then I started doing a whole bunch of other ukulele stuff. So
Yeah. Yeah, I know most recently Perry and I got to go and enjoy the Ashokan Ukulele Festival,
yes,
which I
and
know was handed over to Ben at some point.
yeah,
And
from Gerald Ross.
everybody says Ashokan, you got to get to Ashokan, and it's true.
I love it. I
Yeah.
love it. It's my family's from the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, which is very woodsy. You're out in nature, and the Ashokan Uke Fest is just like that. I mean, frankly, I'm kind of burned out because Mighty Uke Day is 2 weeks before,
I
but I
know.
get there and it's just there's
Yeah.
just some about that atmosphere, and and it's like a family that comes there every year too. I mean, it you really get to know people, and you get a lot of the same people, you get new people every time.
Yeah.
And then we started the Midwest Uke and Harmonica Camp, which you and Perry have been at also.
Yeah.
And that's a pretty immersive camp. We've got 12 to 16 instructors 48 to 60 workshops throughout the
Yep.
weekend. And one of the beautiful things is, as you know, is when you just you're doing your performance and you get somebody else to come up with you that maybe you hadn't really played before,
Yeah.
and all that that merging of all the different talents is just amazing. You know, it's so much. It's a community.
Yeah, and that's with the participants and the artists. It's one of our favorite things is knowing who's going to be at the festival we're going to and then communicating with them and going, "Hey Rev, hey, we're going to be at the festival again together, man. Do you want to do that thing we did last time? Do you want to add a song?" Like, so we get
Yeah,
synergy going, with all the different artists who are going to be there.
right. And then things just happen too. You know, that's
Yeah,
those are some of the best things. Just these like happy accident kind of things. You
spontaneous.
know.
Yeah. Yeah.
And having and all the instructors, I know at Reno and the festivals I run, they're more than happy just to hang out with the attendees and play
Yep.
and jam, and that means so much to everybody. I think that's the thing about the ukulele community as a whole,
Mhm.
and the instrument itself lends itself to that. I like to call the ukulele the most folk of folk instruments because it brings folks together. You know, I mean, it's rare that you just see one ukulele player in the corner, jamming out. You're usually playing with a group of people, and that's special. That's, I think, unique about the ukulele. Um, it brings people together. I just love it.
Well, we're in the same business, Ben, of bringing people together and giving them throwing a party, basically. Everybody can
That's
have a
right.
good
That's
time.
right.
That's our jobs. Well, Ben throws great parties, so make sure you check out Mighty Uke Day, Midwest Uke Fest, and also the Ashokan Ukulele Festival.
Oh, and then I also do a 1 day festival up at Interlaken, which is the famous Center for the Arts Music School, and that's called Uketoberfest.
That's right. You
And
did that
that's
online one.
yeah, that's at the end of October.
Nice.
So,
Is Uketoberfest going to be in person or online?
oh, in person, yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah. We just did it online, during those
Pandemic.
couple years,
Yeah.
and that was kind of interesting too with COVID. People wanted to play together and get together so much they would do whatever they had to do it, and like I run a big senior group, that an instructional group, and it's about 40 people, and we kept a good 30 of them together online during those couple years. And here again, we're not working with digital natives at all. So people really had to learn, okay, I got to learn how to use Zoom and learn to use my webcam. Next thing I know, people are going, oh, I bought this new webcam and I got a Yeti mic and I got
Yeah.
this and that. And, people did whatever they could to get together and play. But, there's just nothing like it in person.
I'm grateful for is that because of the pandemic and all the online pop-ups, many of those are kind of still going in various capacities. And then the
Yeah,
in-person ones have popped up back all over the country. So
right.
people can travel across the country to go to some place like the Catskills in New York and experience it for the first time. Very close to Woodstock, by the way. It's worth visiting, is what I'm saying. But then at the same time, you can be in the comfort of your home and do an open mic in England.
Absolutely.
Perfect outcome there.
Absolutely.
Well, I think the second question you might have answered, but the
I
question,
probably did.
oh, any passions or projects that you're currently working on?
Well, I mean, obviously, ukulele is the passion of mine, and it's kind of gotten to the point that, I host 4 different festivals, and then I come and play and teach at other ones that I'm doing Reno, of course, and where's a new one started up in Canada that I was an advisor on,
Ooh,
the Bayfield Ukulele Festival that myself and Cynthia Kinnunen and Eve Goldberg will be at, my 2 Canadian ukulele sisters.
yeah.
And I I get real excited about it, and I come up with more and more ideas about things to do. Like I'd like
Oh,
to do an ukulele songwriters camp.
yeah.
And oh, what about this? What about that? And my partner Ria, she's going, Ben, now just don't come complaining to me that you have too many things to do. But
Yeah.
uh,
Mary says that to me.
you just throw your whole heart into it. You know that, Danny. And among all the other things I love, we've got three wonderful grandkids. I like to go to a lot of other musical events and concerts.
Mhm.
Um, Especially this year, it's finally I feel free to relaxed enough to go to everything, you know. And but it always comes back to the ukulele, and that's the one thing. My senior group, we've been together about 8 years. The group I teach, and we start out with a handful of people, and now, like I said, we're up to 40 people, and I can come into that group and just be like just stressed out, and oh, I got to do this, I got to do that. And I'm just like, oh my God. And it's like 10 minutes in, and I'm just laughing and cracking up and having a great time. And it's just a real stress reliever for me. It's nice to be able, you don't have to be the hot shot ukulele player to pick up an ukulele and have a great time and play with other people, get to know other people. It brings people together. It's like I don't know, it's like a bowling league or a quilting club or something, except you get to make music, and that's really special.
I'm with you. You also meet
Yeah.
interesting people. I mean, once you're chatting with someone for a while, you know them for a few months or years, then you go, what was it that you did before you retired?
Right.
Oh, I was a prosecuting attorney for the Army in
Yeah,
Tennessee.
yeah.
Or I
It
was a
brings all
surgeon.
kinds of people together.
Yeah,
Yeah.
or I do PT physical therapy, or I'm a nurse, or, like so many different interesting things. That's what I love about it.
Well, if we could, have more of that in the country and the world overall, it'd be a good thing. I always say, if you could get all these people that are butting heads with each other, whether they're here in the States or other countries, if you could get them all together and play ukulele, the world would be a better place, right?
And yeah, that's a good point. Well, why don't you tell us what you're going to be teaching at Reno this year?
Well, at Reno, I'm so excited that I get to come there and teach. I've got a few different classes. One is called Play Almost Every Song in the World. I had to put that disclaimer on because it's not every song in the world. But basically, that's kind of what I call the fantastic four chords, the 1, 4, 5, minor six chord. And there's so many songs you can play with those four. And then I also teach an easy way to transpose. And that's great because one, you can match it to your voice a little more, and two, it kind of forces you to learn some new chords.
Yeah.
And I've got one called Become One with the Strum, and it's not really that Zen-like, but even though it sounds like it, but it's really learning to play. It's not like all these really wild strums like Jake or Little Rev or somebody can play, but it's just real practical strums that you can use to mix up your playing in a uke group. Often you get in a uke group and it's all like da 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 da, and then it just gets faster and faster and faster.
Yes, it
And
does.
these are ways to break it up a little bit. And in that class, you'll learn the famous bend strum,
Oh, the
which
bends?
I'm not going to say anything about it right now because it's kind of a
Okay,
secret.
I'll be there.
Yeah. And then I'm doing one I call Easy Tab, which is a tablature class. So we'll start off with some very simple melodies and get out and up into like something like Ode of Joy or something,
Okay.
all within an hour. Stop, look, and listen. One, playing well with others. That's when I've really developed over the past couple years working with groups.
Yeah.
And it's basically an ensemble type class. First, we talk about what you need to do to really be a part of a group. And a lot of it has to do with listening, just knowing what's going on around you. Exactly, exactly. And and then dynamics, things like that. And then we'll work out a song as an ensemble for
Oh,
different parts at different levels, and even we'll have some baritone parts in there too.
oh, awesome.
Yeah, I try to include baritone chords in all my classes because more and more it seems like there's a lot of people playing baritone ukulele.
We've been talking about that very same
Yeah,
thing. Not quite enough to maybe dedicate a class to yet, but enough that we're going, it might be time to start dedicating a class to this. Like
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm working on a couple baritone specific classes, but I try to keep them all baritone friendly at least.
Yes.
And then I'm also teaching, this is a newer one. Like I said, I started the Lansing area ukulele group. And as I go and travel around the state as, Michigan's ukulele ambassador, of course, um, the I noticed so many different ways these groups are put together. And the thing about this class is it's not like I'm just talking about this is the perfect way to put together a youth group. I like everybody to talk about the groups they're in and how they do it. And we can all share different ideas together, everywhere from just the structure of the group. Like, does one person bring in all the songs and lead them, or do different people bring in songs, to some different software for putting song sheets together
Mhm.
and things like that. So it's really more of a discussion. I'll throw in some ideas that I think work, but all the other people, I don't know. I picked up so many good ideas just running this, myself, learning from other people, and again, as a teacher, I feel like I learned so much teaching, from the students in the class.
Yeah.
Obviously I have some things I want to put across, but I teach and I'll find out little things, wow, this worked really well. I'm going to use this next time.
Yeah.
Or, boy, this didn't work out as well as I
Be
thought.
a little
Let's
better.
ditch that.
Yeah.
So I really like to try to be attentive to how the students are receiving the information I'm giving and adjust on the fly. Um, and I like getting feedback and seeing what I did right and seeing what I could improve on. So
Yeah, and that happens, as you know, from students coming up and either saying the light bulb went off, which is of course our
exactly.
favorite thing, or I didn't quite understand this. Can you explain it again? And that's when
Yeah,
you realize, oh, maybe if I explained it again, I could have explained it that way. Also, in the
right.
class or next time,
Absolutely.
I want to send this out as a PSA. I'm going to put this on social for teachers. Do what Ben is doing. Be in tune with what your students are receiving, with where they are, not necessarily what you have on your paper to teach them. Sometimes you have to go, look, we only got through half the paper because that's
Yeah,
what we heard today. Or we got
right.
the whole paper in half the time. What else do you guys want to do? And
Yeah, what I got up my sleeve here.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I often find that I'm teaching and I'm going, oh my God, I'm going to go through this stuff too quickly. And then all of a sudden, those last couple things take up half the class, and yeah, it's really reading the room, and seeing, you can look in people's eyes while you're teaching and see if it's a glaze or see if like those aha moments. I mean, as much as I love putting together festivals and camps, usually I don't teach at them because I'm just too busy dealing with everything.
yeah,
And so when I get a chance to come to somewhere like Reno and I don't have ultimate responsibility for everything like
yeah.
you guys do, um, I can just really enjoy teaching and hanging out with everybody and that. So I'm truly looking forward to it.
Well, I do want to make mention to those of you watching at home that the last workshop that Ben described was the Uke Group 101. And that one is being taught because we had one person ask last year. They said,
Oh,
any way that we can do some kind of a group where we learn how to put together a Uke club? Because I don't know how to
great.
want one in my area. And then when I asked Ben for his workshops, that was one of the options. And I went, okay, we're doing it. So
Well, good. I'll have at least one student in it.
you'll have at least one. No, I think people are going to be super stoked about this. If you're running a club and you have some advice to give, or you want to start up your own club, or you're hoping somebody else in your area will start up a club,
Yeah.
always bring the information back to them.
Yeah.
That community going, because that's the best
Yeah.
thing.
That's what it's all about.
Yeah, man. It's so good to see you, Ben. As always,
All right.
I will see you in Reno, and everybody
All right.
at home will see you there or on.
Great. Looking forward to meeting everybody.
Bye.
Along.